Okay, so ready to dive into like the story of Sam Walton,
Yeah.
the man who turned, like a single dime store into like a retail empire,
Yeah.
Walmart.
Walmart.
We're talking about a guy who revolutionized the way America shops.
Right.
And believe me, it's a story full of ambition, risk,
hmm
and a relentless drive that's both fascinating and, well, a little bit intimidating.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's captivating about Sam Walton is how he embodies this, like, almost mythic version of the American dream.
Right.
You know, he came from humble beginnings, but he had this unwavering belief in his vision,
Yeah.
this relentless drive that pushed him to, take risks and challenge the status quo.
So let's rewind to the beginning.
Okay.
Picture this. Rural Oklahoma during the Depression.
Okay.
Sam's family moved around a lot. His dad was just trying to make ends meet,
Right.
first as a farmer, then a loan appraiser. Not exactly the easiest start for someone who would build one of the biggest companies on the planet.
Right. And yet, even as a kid, Sam was hustling,
Yeah.
delivering newspapers, milking cows, selling magazine subscriptions,
Wow.
anything to, like, contribute.
Yeah.
He even became the youngest Eagle Scout in Missouri history at the time.
Really?
Talk about driven. You can see the seeds of his, like, work ethic,
Yeah.
his ambition, even then.
It's like he had this inner drive to prove himself, to
Right.
overcome like any obstacle.
Yeah.
And speaking of obstacles,
Yeah.
his first foray into retail wasn't exactly glamorous.
Okay.
He lands a job at J.C. Penney.
Okay.
You'd think, that's it, destiny calling. But his manager at the time, tough,
Oh, no.
as nails,
Oh, real?
told Walton straight up,
What?
"You're not cut out for retail."
Oh, wow.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine saying that to Sam Walton?
That is incredible.
Right.
It's like almost too perfect.
I know.
It's like a scene straight out of a movie.
Perfect.
But this is where things get interesting.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't a, like, positive experience,
Hmm.
those early days at JCPenney were absolutely crucial. He learned about operations, customer service, the importance of value lessons he carried with him throughout his career.
Okay, so World War II happens.
Right.
Walton serves, comes back home,
Mm-hmm.
and you can tell he's got this itch,
Yeah.
this like burning desire to build something of his own.
Yeah.
He scrapes together his savings, gets a little help from family, and buys a Ben Franklin franchise.
Okay.
This is where we see the early glimpses of the strategies that would make Walmart a retail titan.
I see.
He is laser focused on offering the lowest prices possible,
Right.
even if it means operating on razor-thin margins.
Wow. And this wasn't just about undercutting the competition. Walton understood that, for a lot of people, price wasn't just a factor. It was the factor.
Right.
He was willing to take risks to, push the boundaries of what was considered possible in retail, all to make things more affordable for his customers.
He was already thinking differently,
Yeah.
already challenging kind of the conventional wisdom of the retail world.
Right.
And this is where we see the seeds of a revolution being planted, a revolution that would change the face of American retail forever.
Yeah. It's like, fascinating how Walton seemed to have this, like, knack for finding opportunity where others saw only empty space.
Right.
While the retail giants of the day, companies like, Kmart and Woolco, were locked in this, like, fierce battle for dominance in big cities.
Yeah.
Walton saw a completely different battlefield. Small towns.
Yeah, he was like a general surveying the landscape, spotting an opening that everyone else had missed.
Right.
Small towns, they were overlooked, underserved,
Right.
but they represented a huge untapped market.
Yeah.
And Walton, with his, keen sense of opportunity, he saw the potential.
He really did. And, he wasn't content with just showing up and offering lower prices.
Right.
He had a strategy.
Yeah.
A set of, like, core principles that he believed would set him apart. For one thing, he understood the power of abundance.
Okay.
His stores weren't just stocked. They were overflowing with a wide range of products.
Wow.
From groceries to clothing to hardware, all at prices that, seemed impossible to beat.
It was like he was creating a retail paradise for, like, budget-conscious shoppers.
Right.
A place where they could find everything they needed and more
Yeah.
without breaking the bank.
Exactly.
No more having to choose between variety and affordability.
Right.
Walton's stores offered both in spades.
Yeah, and then there was his approach to customer service.
Okay.
He insisted on longer hours, especially during key shopping periods, like holidays.
Oh, I see.
He knew that people were busy,
Yeah.
that their lives didn't always fit neatly into, the traditional retail schedule.
Oh, right, right.
So he met them where they were, making it easier than ever to shop on their own terms.
I see.
He understood that convenience was king,
Yeah.
and he was willing to go the extra mile to make sure his customers felt, valued and appreciated.
He really prioritized the customer experience, it seems like.
He did.
Yeah.
And let's not forget about his, relentless focus on efficiency.
Right.
Walton was a master of logistics, always looking for ways to, streamline operations, cut costs, and pass those savings on to his customers.
Bizarre.
He was an early adopter of technology, embracing, barcodes and centralized computer systems long before they were commonplace in the retail industry.
Wow. So ahead of his time. He was
Yeah.
like a chess master, always thinking, several moves ahead,
Right.
anticipating the needs of his customers and finding innovative ways to meet them.
Yeah.
But as with any good story, there's always another side to explore. And in Walton's case, it's the shadow side of his success.
Right.
The controversies that followed him, even as his empire grew.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, Walton's relentless pursuit of efficiency and low prices.
Right.
Traits that were so central to his success also brought about a whole other side to his story.
Yeah.
A side that was often overlooked in the rush to, celebrate his achievements.
It's the paradox of progress, isn't it?
Yeah.
Walton's drive to offer those everyday low prices came with its share of consequences.
Right.
As his empire grew, so did the scrutiny, particularly when it came to his treatment of employees and the impact his business practices had on local communities.
We can't talk about Sam Walton's legacy without, acknowledging these criticisms,
Yeah.
the accusations of unfair labor practices, of suppressing wages to keep prices low.
Yeah.
Those followed him throughout his career and, frankly, continue to be debated even today.
Absolutely. And it's a debate worth having
Yeah.
because it forces us to confront these really complex questions. Can a company prioritize its customers to the extent that, Walton did without perhaps making compromises elsewhere?
Right.
Is there a point at which the relentless pursuit of low prices comes at too high a cost for the people responsible for making those low prices a reality?
It's a tough pill to swallow, especially when you consider the impact Walmart had on small towns across America.
Yeah.
On the one hand, he was this retail giant offering jobs and affordable goods in places that had often been overlooked.
Right.
But on the other hand, you had local businesses struggling to compete,
Yeah.
driven out by a force they simply couldn't withstand.
And that's the heart of the issue, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's about, finding that balance. A balance between, innovation and responsibility, between progress and its potential downsides.
Right.
Walton's story is a powerful reminder that even the most, remarkable success stories
Yeah.
often have layers of complexity woven into them.
So where does that leave us?
Yeah.
With this legacy of innovation, controversy, and undeniable impact? I think it leaves us with more questions than answers, honestly. What's the true cost of everyday low prices? Can a company be both wildly successful and completely ethical? These are questions that, extend far beyond Sam Walton and Walmart.
Right.
They're questions that every business, every consumer, every one of us has to grapple with
Yeah.
as we, navigate this complex world of commerce and consumption.
Absolutely.
Walton's story doesn't give us the answers,
Yeah.
but it certainly shines a light on the questions we should all be asking.
I think so too.